Hey there, strangers. Today we've got a preview of one of our favorite podcasts, They're Not Shadows, and we think you'll love it too. They're Not Shadows delivers spine-tingling paranormal tales, true ghostly encounters, supernatural happenings, and unexplained phenomena told in a gripping, campfire-style format. Each episode packs in multiple short stories, so you get several eerie experiences in about 30 minutes. Now, if you like one strange thing, you'll appreciate this next part. There's no chit-chat or filler here. It jumps straight into the scares without the banter. The host, Chris, typically presents 3 or 4 different stories per episode, and he gets straight to them. If you enjoy podcasts like Snap Judgment Spooked or Radio Rental, this show will be right up your alley. In fact, They're Not Shadows is frequently recommended by paranormal podcast fans as being similar in its well-told, hair-raising true stories. And it's also got a more intimate, straight-to-the-good-stuff style that appeals to lovers of campfire and anything ghost as well. In short, it scratches the itch for creepy, true ghost tales that will leave you looking over your shoulder. We're about to play you a sample from They're Not Shadows. Be sure to listen and then subscribe for more spooky stories of the paranormal, the supernatural, and the unexplained.
We have 4 stories today. A good mix, I think, of spooky and strange. Starting with The Other Place. This is something that happened to my friend, but she said it was okay to share the story, as long as I didn't use her name. She was meant to come to my place for lunch one day, and when she didn't show, I sent her a text. But I got a message failed notice. I tried calling her.
The number you dialed is not in service.
I thought it was strange, but assumed she'd changed her number for some reason. About 20 minutes later, it was my friend, looking at me with an expression of fear and confusion.
Oh my God, what happened? Are you real?
As I struggled to find the words to respond, she burst into tears.
Come inside. Sit down. Okay, tell me what happened.
Her day started normally, a bit of housework and a couple of errands. Then she headed to my place. As she drove, she found herself lost in a daydream. Then she snapped back to reality and realized she was driving in an unfamiliar area. She turned on the GPS, but it was no help.
GPS signal lost.
As she drove, she noticed something unsettling. There were no people, not a single person on the streets. No cars either, not driving, not parked, just empty roads. She pulled over. and went into a cafe. There was no one in there.
Hello?
Not just customers. There was no staff. And by the look of it, there hadn't been anyone in there for years. She began to panic and went next door to an apartment building. The magnetic lock was broken. It was in the same abandoned state as the cafe.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
She went back to her car and grabbed her phone, but there was no signal. All she could think of was to keep going until, hopefully, she'd find some signs of life. She drove through the unfamiliar streets. Until she ran out of gas.
Come on. Please.
Please.
Yes. No. No.
And with no other options, she decided to spend the night in her car. From then on, her memories became hazy, as if sheer primal fear had clouded her mind. She vaguely remembers walking down a wide, empty street when she saw a single light in one of the windows of a tall building. Desperate, she ran toward it. Her next clear memory is waking up on the floor of a stairwell, right outside my apartment. I spent a long time processing her story, unsure of whether to believe her or not. But looking into her eyes, it was hard not to believe what she told me. Afterwards, she saw a psychiatrist of her own volition, but he could find nothing wrong with her. The police found her car on the outskirts of the city with an empty gas tank, so at least that part of the story is true. There's one more thing. While my friend was at my apartment, she got a phone call. Her number was working again. I looked at my phone, and the message I tried sending earlier had now gone through. Judging by what time it was when she knocked on my door, she'd only been lost for about half an hour. But she claims she was in that other place for at least 6 hours. It's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. This next one is titled Keep Listening. The first time I heard the music, I barely noticed it. It was faint. A drifting piano melody that came from somewhere nearby. My first thought was that it was a neighbour. The tune was quite beautiful, if a little sad. I found myself humming along to it as I worked late into the night. A few nights later, I heard it again, the same melody. I was curious, so the next day I went to the apartment next door, a woman who had been in the building for years.
Hi.
I tried to sound casual.
I was just wondering if you play the piano.
She frowned.
No, I haven't heard one in this building in years.
Are you sure? Because I've been hearing music, late at night.
She gave me a strange look.
If you hear a piano, don't listen too hard.
What do you mean by don't listen to?
That night, I sat up late, waiting and listening. And sure enough, the music returned. Soft, beguiling, floating through the air like a memory. And then, just as I turned off the light to go to bed, it stopped. The silence stretched into the night. And then the music had always felt like it was coming from somewhere distant. But now it sounded like it was coming from inside my apartment. I don't remember when the music stopped. I guess I fell asleep first. The next night, I set up my phone to record. I wanted proof, something to tell me it wasn't just in my head. And the following morning, I played back the audio. At first, there was nothing, just the normal hum of the apartment. Then, finally, it started. But as it played, something else joined in. Breathing right next to the microphone. I skipped ahead in the audio. The music continued. But then, something changed. At first, it was faint. I could barely hear it.
Hello, Michael.
But then,
I play this for you. Would you like to dance with me?
My mind raced for explanations, but I found none. I eventually told myself it was some kind of glitch, but I wasn't very convincing. The next night, the music started earlier than usual. It started the second I closed my eyes after getting into bed. I was frozen. The music appeared to be coming from right outside the open bedroom door. Then it stopped. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. The footsteps got nearer and nearer. But I couldn't see anyone. For a long moment, the apartment was silent. Then, in the darkness, a whisper.
Keep listening.
I soon found another apartment, and I never heard the music again. I even deleted the recording of it. But sometimes, when I'm in bed at night, the melody comes back to me, and I feel it's still there, waiting for me to listen.
Hello, Michael. I play this for you. Would you like to dance with me? All you have to do is listen. Keep listening.
Story number 3 might make you think twice about answering a call from an unknown caller. It was just a regular evening. I'd just got home from work and had settled onto the couch.
You got a lot of talent there.
Oh, I thought you'd think so. I was a model back in Texas, but I came out here for a career. Daddy.
Unknown caller.
A friend of yours.
Hello? Silence. Then faint static. And breathing.
Hello?
And then...
Hello?
It sounded like my voice. Exactly like my voice. I opened my mouth to speak, but could find no words. It had to be a prank. But who? I didn't really know anyone who would do anything so juvenile. That night, as I was brushing my teeth, I heard it again. Not from my phone, but from the hallway outside the bathroom.
Hello?
My blood ran cold. There was no doubt about it. It was my voice. I went out to the darkened hallway. I knew there was nobody in my apartment. I'm on the 7th floor, and the door closes and locks behind you. But still, I didn't sleep well that night. By the next day, I'd convinced myself I'd imagined it. The electric toothbrush is quite noisy, but that night, as I was lying in bed, half drifting into sleep, I heard.
Ben.
My eyes shot open. My breath caught in my throat. The room was dark, and the air felt heavier, charged almost, like it is before a thunderstorm. And then the closet opened. I sat up, scrambling for the lamp. The closet door was wide open. I steeled myself. Then, as quietly as I could, I got out of bed. And went to the closet. There was no one in there. But it was another restless night. In the morning, I looked for answers. I searched voice-mimicking phenomena, audio hallucinations, and why a person might hear their own voice outside their body. The internet had explanations: pareidolia, auditory illusions, and even a rare condition where the mind tricks itself into hearing familiar voices. But none of those explained why the closet door had opened on its own. Nothing else happened after that, but sometimes, late at night, my phone will buzz. I never look at the screen. I don't have to. I know what it's going to say. Unknown caller. We have one more on a topic that I find fascinating. It's titled Perchance to Dream. We'll see you next time. Some places don't feel right. You step inside and something in the air shifts. subtle, almost imperceptible, but enough to make your instincts whisper, "You are not alone." My new apartment wasn't anything special. A third-floor walk-up in an aging building. The kind with dim hallways, flickering bulbs, and walls so thin you could hear muffled voices. From rooms you didn't realize were occupied. The first few nights I noticed little things. That feeling of being watched and the occasional flutter of movement from the corner of my eye. Things that could easily be dismissed as paranoia. Tricks of the mind as I adjusted to a new place. But the sense of unease never left. It clung to the air, heavy and oppressive. Like something unseen was waiting. Then came the night that changed everything. I woke up suddenly. There was no sound, no disturbance, just an overwhelming awareness that something was wrong. The room was suffocatingly still, the kind of silence that feels too deep, too unnatural. And then I saw them, two white eyes faintly glowing in the darkness. For a moment, I refused to believe what I was seeing. But no, something was watching me. As my vision adjusted to the dark, the shape surrounding the eyes became clearer. A figure stood at the foot of my bed, tall, impossibly tall, its form a void of absolute blackness. No details, no features, just a humanoid shape, darker than the surrounding darkness. The rational part of my brain fought for control, scrambling for an explanation. Was it a trick of the light or a nightmare? My mind was racing through every logical possibility, yet none could explain the primal terror I felt. Then the figure moved. A single step forward, slow, deliberate. My body refused to respond. I couldn't move or scream. I was trapped in that horrifying moment, locked in a stare with something that should not exist. My mind whispered, sleep paralysis. Of course. A scientific phenomenon, a known condition. Just my body and brain frozen between sleep and awake. But then, why did the room feel so cold? And why did it smell like something was burning, like the aftermath of a fire? And how could I feel the mattress move beneath me, as if something was pressing down on the end of the bed? Desperation surged through me, and I somehow managed to force my eyes shut. Every other muscle was locked in terror. Then, after what felt like hours, I finally dared to open my eyes. The figure was gone. But the feeling remained. There was a heaviness in the air, a deep, lingering certainty that I had not been alone. I never saw that entity again, but sometimes, right before I drift off, I can feel it watching me.